Hi guys, RIB back again, turning a story into a book. Today we're going to talk about the book deal. The book deal. So remember, if you like this content, please share it. Sharing is caring. The more we share, the more we're going to get great books out there. The more great books out there, the more positive impact we affect on the planet, which is going to be better for everyone. All right? So now let's get on to today. 3 good tips about the book deal. Now, for me, I went with a publisher. My publisher is New Holland. So my book, Soul Survivor, How an Abandoned Child Went From Nothing to Everything, published by New Holland, right? So I went with New Holland. Great publisher. Can't recommend them highly enough. Now, but when it comes to the book deal, there's 3 tips. 3 tips which are really important for you to know before you enter into the book deal if you decide to go the way of the publisher and not self-publishing. Number 1 is obviously the amount, right? The amount. In other words, the percentage that you will receive for every book sold. Now, quite often, I think mine was around 10%. But it really depends upon your negotiating power. If you look back in previous episodes, you'll know that if you're in a great space, you have a great deal of followers, you have a massive following online, email lists, you're an identity in your niche, right? Now, the stronger proposition that you can offer your publisher, the better deal that you can create. Why? Because it means that they have to work less hard to sell many books, right? So it's a straight, demand and supply curve here, right? So I would say a good rule of thumb, if you're a first-time author, if you can get 10%, that's great. And remember, your reasons for doing this in the first place. My reasons, as I mentioned to you before, my reasons were about getting the message out there to as many people as I possibly could, right? So that's the reason why, for me, trying to get up to 20% or 30% wasn't necessarily important for me, as to get that deal, use that network of New Holland, multiple countries, and get my message out there to as many people as possible. That's number 1. Tip number 2, comes down to the length. Now, the length of the deal. This one's up to you, but just be aware, that it takes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years or more, for your book to really bite. Some might be fortunate to get there within a year, but for most people, we're talking 3 books over 3, 4, 5, 6 years, right? So it's not a short-term play. This is a long-term play. So for me, the longer, the better. That's a personal thing. You need to ask yourself that question to see if that sits well with you, okay? Now, rights. The third one is rights. Now, we're talking now rights to film, rights to things like documentary, rights to other online platforms, right? So now, what is it that you want to do with your book? So right now, my book, we're talking with a writer, a script writer, to see if we can make it into a book. Now, just keep in mind, it can take 10 years or more to turn your story into a book. That's fine, but then to turn that book into a movie or that book into a documentary, it can take an inordinate amount of time, which took me by surprise the first time that I heard it, but it can literally take that long, right? So again, I'm just trying to manage your expectations here. You might be able to get it done sooner. You may have some amazing contacts. Awesome. You may be incredibly well connected. Awesome, right? But the chances are, for most people, it can take a long time. I was coaching 2 mountain climbers, Matilda Dwi Lestari, Didi, the first 2 Indonesian women to complete the 7 Summit Challenge. That is climbing the highest mountain on 7 continents, including Everest. Right now, for them in Indonesia, it may take that time, to do the documentary, to get it out there. And these girls are national heroes, right? So again, I'm just trying to manage your expectations. I'm just trying to keep things in check, but just realize that you want to be really sure about where the rights are going. And again, I'm not going to advise you what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I'm just saying that it's something that you need to keep in mind. Right? You need to keep in mind, like if I do want to make this into a book, into a film, who do I want the rights? Who do I want to have rights? Is this a publisher or somebody else? When it comes to documentaries, the same thing. When it comes to online, now online, talking books, all this type of thing is becoming more and more important, podcasts and this type of thing. So who do I want to have the rights to that content? Really, really important. And it's something which is up for discussion and something for you to negotiate with your publisher. All right, so these are 3 quick tips. There's a lot more than that, but these are 3 to get you going. Just remember, okay, that you've got a few things at your disposal. You've got a free discovery call with me, no matter where you're up to in your book writing journey. Turn your story into a book, or turn your story into your business, which is a brand, right? So we can talk about that, branding, okay, and placement, and that type of thing. Because again, when you're trying to build this as a brand, third-party endorsement from a reputable publication is key. Forbes, Disrupt, Business Insider, right? These are very powerful publications, which, having garnered that attention and support, you can then monetize later in terms of, we've spoken about it before, speaking engagements, endorsements, sponsorships, and so on. All right. So you've got the free discovery call. You've also got, there's a free live event coming up this Friday. So I'll leave the details below, so you can tune into that. And that event will break down the whole step, the whole process, bringing everything together, and then giving you an opportunity to do 1 or 2 things. Either to walk away with all the content that you need to start this, turning your story into a book, or turn your story into a brand, or turn your brand into a business, enough to start that. You will have that information. Or if you want to go 1 step further, I have an online course, 36 tutorial videos, written support, very powerful, very in-depth, and will literally hold your hand through the whole process. You'll have access to that. And then finally, if you want to go through this on a one-on-one mentoring version, then I'll give you all the information that you need for that. So those details for live event will be below here or attached to this post that you're seeing now. And we've got a few more left. So I look forward in seeing you in the next one, where we get into the final steps about branding, the final steps about launching your book, the final steps about getting it out there to the people. Thanks for your attention. Look forward to seeing you soon. Lots of love. Bye for now.